Yo, what's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of my Football Manager series. This is episode number 11. And today we're returning with two big games against the two Premier League title rivals in real life, Manchester City away and Arsenal at home. Before we get to the games though, shout out Cherry's been getting on off camera. And of course, in the last episode, you saw a big 1-0 scalp against Chelsea where Ochoa saved that penalty late on to give us the 3 points there, and then a 1-1 draw away against Norwich City. 8 games in a run off camera, and as you can see, a mixed run of form for Bournemouth, which is pretty much what we expect at this stage in the save, with 4 losses, 3 wins, and a draw as well. Beginning with a 1-0 loss away at Ellen Road against Leeds United. Super Charlie Creswell heading in the late goal as Leeds got the win there, with Solanke went down in that game as well. Big blow, but it gave an opportunity for the big man, Zlatan Ibrahimovic, his first start in Premier League football, and wouldn't you know it, 7 minutes after the restart, Zlatan Ibrahimovic scored the opening goal, made it 1-0, and then Dango Ouattara got his first goal of the season in a 2-0 victory. But following that, back-to-back losses, first away at St James against Newcastle, where we lost by a goal to nil. We were really unlucky in this game, though, man. Seriously, Eddie Howe's side injured a couple of my players in this one, and Loftus-Cheek heading in a late winner for the Magpies. Thought we were really unlucky to lose that game so late on there. And then a 2-1 loss at home to Fulham. They scored their first 2 goals inside the first half. We conceded so many goals from set pieces this season, from dead ball situations. Whilst they go down 10 men, and Solanke got a goal back from the spot. It was just a consolation. But 3 decent results in a row preceded that. Following West Brom 2-1 victory at the Hawthorns, fell behind early through Adam Armstrong heading in a deep cross 5 minutes in, but an own goal from Furlong 20 minutes in, and then Batterina 2 minutes later converted a brilliant cross by Nuno Tavares, who us pick up a big win there as we came from behind. And speaking of coming from behind, well, following game, my best comeback win in Football Manager so far in this save. Goodness gracious me, I did not see this coming. We had an atrocious start to the game, 2-0 down inside the first 20 minutes, and whilst David Brooks did get us back in the game, Heung-min Son right after the restart made it 3-1. But what followed afterwards was a capitulation from Spurs and then some. 2 minutes after Son extended their lead back to 2, Solanke made it 3-2. Then 5 minutes later, he bagged the leveller, and with 19 minutes to go, for the second time in the game, we just launched the ball over the top, and Fraser Forster, I mean, he's a giant of a man, but maybe that was detrimental to his shot-stopping abilities in this game. He couldn't get down quick enough. He could not get down quick enough. Absolutely terrible from Forster. Solanke with the game winner with 90 minutes to go in a 4-3 comeback victory, and one to remember on the South Coast. And following that, another comeback game where we didn't win, but we did draw 2-0 down to Brentford in this one inside the first 24 minutes. Brian Mbeumo bagging an early first half brace for the Bees in this one. We really stumbled out of the blocks, but we did respond. Marcus Tavernier, 10 minutes after the restart, making it 2-1, and then his stoppage time, Dominic Solanke doing it once again from the spot. Rarely lets me down, this guy. Pops up with the leveller in stoppage time. And our final game was an end to our unbeaten run. 2-0 loss at home to Liverpool. Once again, stumbled out of the blocks in this one. And Kunku and Salah scored 2 goals in 4 minutes as we fell 2 goals down early. And whilst Naby Keita did get an early red card for Liverpool, we picked it up after that poor start, having a man advantage, but couldn't make it count and lost the game 2-0. So yeah, pretty inconsistent run for the Cherries, but to be fair, right now at this point in the save, it's good enough. You know, it's good enough for us. The most important thing is that we just don't get dragged into a scrap for safety. And 14 games into the season, 5 ways before the halfway stage, we're only 1 point behind Newcastle. We've got a better goal difference record, and we're still in the hunt for a European place, and 12 points clear of Everton, occupying that 18th and final relegation spot. The most important thing is we just don't drop down here. If we just stay around here for the rest of the season, I'm fine with that. Slow and steady wins the race. Take it in stages. Also, real briefly, Solanke now, after a hat-trick against Spurs, a late penalty against Brentford, is now joint second, in the goal-scoring charts right now with 10 goals in 12 games. There is still interest in Dominic Solanke, but after signing that extension last February, I have to say, what a blessing in disguise that he turned down a move to Sheffield United and Norwich, I think it was, and decided to stay here. Because without this guy's goals, I mean, we would not have a chance at making Europe this season. Absolutely no way. As things stand, on course to even better his goal scoring record of last season. He has me in his favourite personnel. He's got Bournemouth in his favourite clubs. I don't think he'd leave unless it's for a big money move, like to Al Hilal in the Saudi Professional League. And I wouldn't be against that if we get around 50, 60 million. But for now, his goals are vital to our long-term aspirations. Now, very briefly, you might have seen right at the start of the episode, we have agreed a sale to go through very soon. That is Kiefer Moore. He requested to leave. He wants to go and play for Wales again. 31 years old. I don't mind Moore as a squad player, but this year, even behind Zlatan on a freebie, guy's barely going to play. Only got one goal all season long in the Premier League last year. Yes, he only really came off the bench, but that's because Solanke is too good, and we only play with one man up top. So, yeah, he wanted to leave. I said, fair enough, forget the right bid, I'll let you go. He's going to join America for $6.25 million, possibly rising to 7.5 mil with installments. But that's okay with me. He'll go to Mexico, and I'm totally fine with that. Strange career move for him, but fair play. I'm okay with that. So, that's that. I don't think there's anything else to show you off camera. I suppose I could show you that the training facilities still haven't been improved yet, but we're getting there. We're getting there. 3 weeks and we'll finally get better training facilities. Can't wait for that. And also, yeah, as well, God, there's so much to show you in Football Manager, man. I love the depth of this game. We're in the red. We're in the red. You might be wondering what's happened there. Well, basically, Alex Scott has now played 50 league games for Bournemouth. And if you remember, in the series opener, we signed Alex Scott. There was a clause where if you played 50 league games for Bournemouth, the fee would rise to £15 million. So, yeah, it was 7.5 initial fee, 7.5 mil after 50 league games, 1.5 mil after 20 international games, which he'll probably get to at some point, but he's now played 50 league games combined. That's why we paid an extra 7.5 mil to Bristol City, and that's why now we're in the red. Can't wait for that Kiefer Moore deal to go through so we can go back in the green. Right then, first game of today's episode, Manchester City away. No longer, of course, under Pep Guardiola. Sarri Ball in charge of Manchester City as we take them on away at the Etihad Stadium. I will definitely take a point. We're switching formation after a tough run of form, and this will be our team. So right now, an injury report. We've had quite a few knocks recently, and especially at fullback as well, we've been a little bit light. But right now, Zabani is down with a knock. Ryan Fredericks, of course, still coming back from that long-term injury he got at the start of the season. Lerma is suspended for this game after an accumulation of yellow cards, and this will be our team. It's our 5-3-2 counter, which we've only won with once, but I quite like it for games like this where we expect to lose. A Charles between the sticks. The back five is Tavares, Kelly, Senesi, and Metham, with Walker Peters at right wing-back. Forsby, the ball midfielder. Alex Scott and Batarina through the middle, and up top Solanke and Ouattara as well. On the bench, Travers, Billing, Cook, Pearson, Traore, Tavernier, Brooks, Anthony, and Zlatan as well. First of 2 games I expect to lose, but I'll certainly take a point, no doubt about that. Man City away. Come on, you cherries. So first highlight coming early, and oh, roof of the net. That block there, that's when 2D kind of doesn't help you out there. That block there could have gone underneath the crossbar. Thankfully goes over, and it's still 0-0. This is going to be a long afternoon. These are the sort of games you go into, you just think, right, keep it tight early doors, and you just never know. But if you concede early, it's like damage limitation, really, from the first whistle. That's a great ball by Forsby. Dan goes onto it, and Edison makes the save. Flag stayed down. Brilliant ball from the mental man. And Ouattara just couldn't finish. I don't know what to do with this guy, man. Seriously. He's got potential, but I just can't seem to work out how to get the best out of him. He does nothing on the flank. And up top, well, we only play with one striker, and therefore Solanke is always going to start. Even so, 19 minutes in, he spurned our best and probably only chance of the game. Let's be realistic. Here's Bernardo Silva. Great ball by Ilkay Gundogan. Metham cuts it out. Come on, Bournemouth. Haaland down the left-hand side. Back to the left-back, and now KDB from 20 yards. This is dangerous. Comes inside. Shot blocked. Grealish's shot is tame, and Ochoa makes the save. Still 0-0 as things stand, holding our own. Had a chance on the counter. That's where our chances will come in this system. At the moment, half an hour in, so far so good. Tell you what, if we can get to the break still tied at 0-0, I'll be gleaming. Absolutely buzzing with this. We had one golden chance on the counter. That's where we'll get the opportunities from. But come on, boys, don't concede here. Haaland's header finds the back of net for goal 18 this season. A Norwegian terminator with another. And I've got to say, man, we concede so many goals from set pieces, which quite frankly is really disappointing when you consider how tall and strong our team is. But Haaland heads home, it's 1-0, and that's a sucker punch, that is. I'm going to say to the boys here, with my hands on my hips in a nice feminine stance, you've been unlucky so far, because we have. Very unfortunate to concede from a set piece right before the break in the first half where we almost had a lead. But as Haaland heads in the second, a minute after the restart, the game is definitely done now. Yeah, it's disappointing, that. Very disappointing. I mean, these are the sort of games where at this point in the save, I say this a lot, but in these sort of RTGs, as KDB is denied by Guillermo, these are the sort of games where, like, anything is a bonus. Do you know what I mean? If you can get a point, if you can shit out a draw, that is a brilliant result, Like, we are nowhere near good enough to battle with these teams consistently. Yes, every now and then we might pick up a scalp, like Chelsea in the last episode, or Spurs in a run off camera, but for the most part, we expect to lose these games, so you can't be too disappointed if that's how it occurs. Jack Grealish, 22 minutes to go, could have made it free, great block. And the chance remains alive here. Kyle Walker crosses, Haaland, hat-trick, 20th of the season already. Unbelievable. One of those games where you look back and think, what if, that what if moment. Had Ouattara converted on the one-on-one after the fabulous ball by Forsby, we could have maybe shoused a 1-0 victory. In the end, it's going to be a comfortable win for the hosts here. But Zlatan, who's got his second of the season. Well, future to past. Baturina whipping one into the middle. He's done really well for us this year in his debut season. And the giant Swede heads home to make it 3-1. It would just be a consolation, but second of the year for Zlatan. We'll have that. I said this season with Ibrahimovic, all I really want is for him to just pick up 2 or 3 goals, and that'll do me fine. That's all I can really ask of a backup striker, and so far, so good. He's already got 2 as Bernardo Silva is through and makes it 4. Carved open way too easily there. Learning experience, boys. Learning experience. Don't worry about it, boys. So it's a process. It's a process. Trust the process. Learning experience. And the lesson I learnt there is that we are a million miles away from the quality that Manchester City possess. 4-1, we expected to lose, we did. Don't worry about it, lads. Oh, what? Fuck off. What were you expecting? It's Man City away. Sorry, he's 42 now, Zlatan. 42 years old. Still got it though. Technically, mentally, maybe not physically, but certainly technically and mentally, that's for sure. All I wanted from Zlatan this year was 2 or 3 goals. All I'm asking for. 1-year deal. Come and fit our squad depth problem. Mentor the youngsters and bag a couple of Premier League goals. All I was asking for. He's already done it. We literally just entered December and he's already hit the goal tally I asked of him. Right then, final game of this episode, Arsenal at home, Wednesday night. Not expecting much from this one, but we really could do with at least a point to end what has been a poor run of form since the start of September. Heading into the game, obviously Tavares is ineligible to play against his permanent club with the Gunners right now in 3rd place. We're going to switch back to our 4-3-3, our original system for this game, and this will be our team. Achar still between the sticks, and the back 4 is Kelly, Senesi, Metham and Walker-Peters. Scott Lerma and Baturina are our midfield trio, with Traore on the left, Tavernier on the right and Solanke, our top scorer, up top. On the bench, Travis, Forsby, Billing, Cook, Pearson, Brooks, Anthony Ouattara and Zlatan as well. Once again, I'll certainly take a point to put an end to this poor run of form. Come on, you cherries. Don't forget, Mikel Arteta has been sacked by Arsenal, so it's Luis Enrique in charge now as they look to cut the gap on Manchester United, leading the way at the top. And we look to try and end a poor run of form. I said at the start of the episode, obviously I would love to challenge for a European place in Season 2, but realistically, I'd say again, anywhere above the bottom 3 is good enough for me, as KWP is dispossessed by Martinelli down his left-hand side, and Gabriel back to Thomas Partey, and a Ghanaian through to Martinelli as the Brazilians combine. And how has that gone in? Jesus makes it 1-0. Is it going to be disallowed? How did that squirm into the near post there? Well, it's been awarded, but I want to see that on the replay. Guillermo Ochoa had an amazing start to the season, but I'll be honest here, I'm starting to question whether the veteran can do with a spell on the sidelines, because he's just dived over the ball and Arsenal have taken the lead. He's definitely onside, 2 players keeping him on, but that is shocking goalkeeping from the Mexican. Coop Miners, great ball, Bukayo too, so quick from the Gunners, 2-0 down, this game's done. The fact is, we're not at this level yet, it's as simple as that. Obviously, it's an RTG, there's an awful long way to go, but this is a reminder that yes, we can occasionally pick up a scalp here and there, but we're nowhere near close to the level of the traditional Big Six. That's why for us, yes, of course, an outside shot of Europe would be amazing, but again, here, this is fine. This to me is totally fine. 22 minutes to go. Looking for a glimmer of hope here. And some light in the tunnel as Tavernier shoots and Ramsdale tips it just over. Let's bring on Zlatan, yeah. Let's bring on Zlatan. 17 minutes to go. We'll take off Solanke, who once again is going to fire a blank in this one. And change our wingers as well. Jadon Anthony coming on. And Ouattara for Tavernier as well. 16 minutes, you never know. Good bag of consolation, but I'm pretty pessimistic. But Lloyd Kelly says, Gaffer, hold that fort, because the attack's down the left and rolls it back to Senesi. We're going to look for a late chance here, as the captain slides through Jefferson Lerma. And Ouattara off the bench makes it 2-1. We're back in this. What a ball by Lloyd Kelly that was, to slide through Lerma, beats the offside trap. And Ouattara at the back post is not going to miss from 2 yards out. Well, 14 minutes. Can we come back once again to claim a point? Let's go attacking in our play. And let's also as well be a little bit more direct. Play at the highest tempo we can. Run at the defence as well. And distribute the ball quickly too. Is there a late leveller for Bournemouth, or can Arsenal kill it here? They can indeed. Smith Rowe across to the back stick. And it is 3 points for Arsenal. Well, to be fair, you look at the stats, and we actually did a pretty decent job out there against one of the big boys in the Premier League. But unfortunately, positives are not points. Final score 3-1, back-to-back losses for the Cherries, and a tough run of form for Bournemouth. Once again, I'm pleased with the performance, and this time they're delighted with that. We did alright out there, to be fair. I have to say, like, right now, as we're about to enter the January transfer window, the real question is, are we going to make any moves? Because we're in the red right now. And obviously we'll get a little bit of money for when that Kiefer Moore deal goes through. I think we'll get 6.25 mil up front. So that'll put us back in the green, but only gradually. We still have a big transfer budget. The question is, do I decide to say, fuck the bank balance situation, let's just sign a player and hope they can possibly drag us into Europe, or do we take it slow and steady? To me, I'd much rather not do that. I'm fine with this. I'm totally fine with this. Slow and steady, boys. We are the tortoise. But that was this episode of the Football Manager series, guys. Big thank you for watching. If you have enjoyed. If you have done, please do drop a like. Much love to you all. Have a fantastic day. And after a poor run of form for Bournemouth, no wins in our last 4, we'll return in the next episode of the January transfer window open with, let's do our FA Cup third round and Newcastle at home. So our first knockout round in the FA Cup and the Magpies as well. If we are to have any chance of being an outside European place, those are the games we must win. Have a great day, much love, and I'll see you for the next episode of the Football Manager series very soon.